The Mariners cannot complete the sweep of the Philadelphia Phillies, losing game three, 6-0. Hi, everyone. My name is Sam Edwards, and this is my final episode of Mariners Daily. I've been running this show for 221 episodes, and this is my last one. It's time for me to move on. I'm going to take a brief pause from baseball content in general. I've been doing this for a long time, over 7 years, about 7 years. I've been doing baseball content, baseball podcasts, specifically. This was my first time focusing on one team in the Seattle Mariners, and honestly, it was a great learning experience and really just great experience overall. Getting to do the show for you guys, be able to see some people that do enjoy the show that can still watch the show despite the yawns. Yeah. So I appreciate you being here for all of these episodes, depending on how many you've been here for. But I appreciate it. I do really appreciate you being here. And yeah, I'll never be done with baseball content. Never be done. I'm just always gonna keep pushing, pushing, pushing. I just need to take a pause from the content game as of right now. It's a full part-time job as of right now. So I gotta take a pause from it, take a step back and reevaluate, and then probably relaunch my own show around the diamond. That's the end goal. Eventually have the own show. And I was working with Fan Arch for this show, and I'm sure they'll probably get another host. So stay subscribed and see how the new host is. I'll probably stay subscribed, see what we're working with, see what the new guy can do. I don't think they have anybody lined up as of right now, so we'll see what happens. But either way, I just wanted to say thank you and give you one last solid episode of analysis of the Seattle Mariners before I officially sign off. Yeah, let's get into the game. 6-0 loss. This is a depressing episode and not one that I wanted to end on. I really wanted to end on a sweep of the Phillies, that charges the Mariners chances for the playoffs. They still have a chance for the playoffs. Their division hopes are in their hands unless one of the Rangers or Astros really turn it up. The Mariners can do it. They can get the job done. So we'll see what happens. But for now, this game was rough. Bryan Woo got roughed up even at home. We've seen him be more consistent as of late, consistently good. Excuse me, consistently good, whether he's at home or away. But this one was not a good one. 4 innings pitched total for Woo, 5 hits, 6 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. 2 home runs, 76 pitches. And I know what you're thinking, where you're like, well, 5 hits, 6 earned runs, only 1 walk, 5 Ks. Honestly, like you could argue that this wasn't too bad of a start, but 8 hard hits is kind of the differentiator for me. It's kind of the moment where you're like, oh, okay, so it's not like he just left 2 really bad pitches over the plate. They got whacked for home runs. Yes, that did happen. And yes, I think he got hit harder than maybe he deserved to, but he just left way too many four-seamers over the plate to get smacked. That's kind of it. Kind of the essence of this game right here. 8 hard hits over 4 innings. There's one last yawn for you to enjoy. Yeah, 8 hard hits over 4 innings is just, it's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work unless you get really, really lucky, which I would still be speaking negatively about this start, even if he didn't get thwacked. So the four-seamer, that is the essence of Bryan Woo's game. 56% usage, which is 12% more than he's averaged this season. 5 whiffs, 7 called strikes, a 27.9 CSW percentage, 81 strike percentage. I think that might be a bad thing. Now, it's not necessarily the strike percentage is a bad thing, that the fact that he has a high strike percentage on the four-seamer is a bad thing. But if you look at the plots for the four-seamer, there's a lot in the middle of the plate, bro. And you look at the pitches that the Phillies swung at, they swung at almost all of those pitches. Yes, they swung and missed at some four-seamers, but you leave that many pitches in the plate, your fastball's not that good. You're not Jacob Mizorowski. It's like you're not Paul Skeens. You're not going to be able to just throw it down the pipe consistently and get by. You're going to get freaking smacked, slapped left to right, all that good stuff. And besides the four seamer, I mean, the sinker didn't do very much. He only threw it 15% of the time, so it's not like you expected him to do much, but still only one whiff, one called strike. The sweeper did well. That's encouraging. He had an off speed pitch working 14% of the time he threw the sweeper, got four whiffs, two called strikes, 54 CSW percentage, 72 strike percentage on the sweeper as well. Encouraging. The sliper. Oh my gosh. There should be a new pitch called the sliper. The sleeper? The sleeper. I'm down for the sleeper. Anybody else want the sleeper? Sleeper pitch. What would that do? Sweeper's left to right. Or right to left, sorry. Throw a lefty, so I think about it from a lefty's point of view. But either way, sleeper would be somewhere in the middle between a sweeper and a slider. Either way, the slider did terrible. This could be the worst episode I've ever done. I just go on rants the entire time. The slider, he only threw 6 sliders, but got 2 hits off the pitch, 1 hard hit off the slider. 1 hard hit out of 6 pitches thrown, and 2 hits given up. Great. Not great. The sweeper did well, though, which is encouraging. The four-seamer was not terrible, but 6 hard hits on the four-seamer. 6 of the 8 hard hits he gave up were on the four-seamer. Just throwing it middle of the zone, man. Just throwing it middle of the zone. I think he's going to be okay. I think he's going to be able to rebound. This was a bad start. Just left it out of the plate. He got freaking bombarded. First inning, too. Let's get the game recap here. Before we talk about Luzardo, let's talk about the Phillies offense and how they jumped Bryan Woo. First inning, Kyle Schwarber, slider, double in the gap. Bounces up for a ground rule double. 107 miles an hour off the bat of Schwarber. Trey Turner strikes out. Can be a theme later. Catch on. Bryce Harper hits a 2-run homer, 106 miles per hour off the bat of him. Just out of the reach of Julio. Julio was so close to making one of his dope home run robbery catches, but he just couldn't get it. Just couldn't get it. And it wasn't like it was too far. It was too short. He overshot it. Go back and watch the replay. Go back and watch the game recap. He jumps up and it hits the top of the wall under his glove. If he went a little bit closer, if he just went a little bit closer, he went just a little bit too far. Bummer. Friggin' bummer. Would have been dope. We've seen Julio make those catches before. He can do it. We know that. Arias grounds out. Bohm strikes out to end the first inning. But the 2-run homer is honestly all the Phillies needed. The Phillies didn't need anything because Jesus Luzardo absolutely shut us down. Bottom half of the first inning, Julio hits a deep drive to right field, where Bryce Harper is now playing, instead of first base. Deep drive, 99 miles per hour off the bat of Julio, 362 feet. Harper jumps up and catches it. Now, it was not a home run robbery, but it was a extra bases rob. Very good contact from Julio and a good catch from Harper. So we're losing every which way. We missed our home run robbery. Harper gets him back the next inning. Not great. Second inning, Bryson Stott starts it off with a double down the line. Brandon Marsh walks. JT Realmuto takes a strikeout. Justin Crawford has an all-time battle versus Bryan Woo. Bobbing and weaving, fouling off. Looking for the four-seamer. Woo is just freaking dotting the zone every which way. Crawford gets a single with him. And then Kyle Schwarber, who I will say his first hit in this series was that double in the first inning. So we've kept him hitless through first 2 games. That's great. Mariners are great. 2 out of 3 still for the keep wanting to say division. 2 out of 3 of this series is good. Same thing versus the Cubs. It's good. We did well. Yes, this final game was annoying and frustrating and kind of the epitome of what happens with this Mariners team in 2026, but still did well. Comfort gets a single. Schwarber gets the 3-run homer, 104 miles per hour off the bat of him. Trey Turner strikes out again. Came back. Nice. Harper lines out to end the second inning. And that was all the damage. That was it. Phillies were scoreless for the next 7 innings. Renwu gets through the next 2 innings. Not great. A clean inning from Bizardo, clean inning from Spire, Ferrer, 2 clean innings from Carlos Vargas. It's garbage time, you know? You know when you get all the scoring done that you need in the first 2 innings and then the bats just go to sleep? We've seen it with the Mariners before. They just stop. They just stop. It just stops. So it's hard to for me to cheer on our bullpen and be like, "Whoa, guys, nice," you know, because it just doesn't feel like they're trying. Because the Phillies don't have to try anymore because Jesus Luzardo absolutely freaking shut us down. 7 shutout innings, only 1 hit given up, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. The 3 walks is the only thing that you can point to from Luzardo. And it's because his main pitch is the sweeper, which had a 53 strike percentage in this start. That's the only mark you could have against Luzardo because everything else was working beautifully. Sweeper, he threw 37% of the time. It had 8 whiffs and 4 called strikes. That is a 30.8 CSW percentage. Did everything you needed to do. Four-seamer, he threw 27.9% of the time, 6 whiffs, 5 called strikes. That is a 37.9 CSW percentage. And then the changeup. The changeup, he threw 17% of the time, 4 whiffs, 5 called strikes. That is a 50 CSW percentage. Four-seamer had a 69 strike percentage, and the changeup had a 77 strike percentage. That's crazy, man. It was an absolutely dominant outing from Luzardo. Good on him. He did great. He just absolutely undressed us. We couldn't do anything. Did not matter. Just did not matter whatsoever. You're a really, really freaking good lefty, and you're pitching at T-Mobile Park versus the Mariners this season. Oh my gosh. It's a freaking layup, bro. You're set. We couldn't do anything. Couldn't do anything with it. Yeah, it was a bummer. Disappointing. I was disappointed, but not necessarily surprised. Now, the big surprise of this season, and the final topic I'm going to talk about on Mariners Daily, which is a bit sad, but it's going to be Cal Raleigh. I haven't really dove into him this season. I think because everybody talks about him, but I just wanted to review this season a little bit. In case you're unfamiliar, Cal Raleigh's not having a good season. In case you watch a Daily Mariners show, but you don't know that Cal Raleigh is having a down year, I'm here to tell you the shocking revelation. As I dug into the sabermetrics and the expanded stats, I realized something that nobody else realized. Cal Raleigh's having a down season. Okay. 60 home runs last year. It was amazing. 161 runs created plus as well. Pretty good. This season, 416 plate appearances. He had a golden sombrero last night. And if you're unfamiliar with the phrase, that is 4 strikeouts. Going from 4 straight home runs, 4 straight strikeouts. So, great. We're not out of the woods. What are the woods? What's going on? What's going on with Cal Raleigh? Well, he's striking out more. Is it earned? Let's find out. 2025, he had a 26 K percentage. This year, he has a 31.5 strike percentage. K percentage, sorry. It's 5% increase, which is substantial. Anytime you're at or above 30K percentage, is not destined to last. It's just not going to last. You're not going to be able to continue the success that you think you're going to have. He has a 175 isolated power this year, 197 BABIP, which is a solid 50-point drop. He's batting 167 with a 284 on base and a 342 slugging. That is an 85 runs created plus, about cut in half from last year. His exit velocity has dropped 2 marks, went from 91.3 exit velocity to 89.5, which is substantial. It is. Barrel percentage is still a good mark at 13.7%. So he's still barreling balls. It is a drop, however. It is a 6% drop from last year, 19.5 barrel percentage, which we don't expect him to be last year. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I just want to show the significance. Hard hit percentage. I think this is the most significant, in my opinion. This one stat, I think, does help carve out the picture here. Because, yes, he's striking out a lot. I don't know if he's fully deserving of that. So I'll get to that in a second. I'll get to the contact numbers, things like that. But hard contact wise, it's a significant drop off. It went from 49% last year, which is fantastic, to 37%. It's not like we dropped 9 points. We dropped a whole freaking 12% in hard hits. 12%. That's a big drop off. And enough that means that you're not going to be getting half the hits that you normally were getting. So what's going on? Well, he is expanding the zone. Not dramatically more, but he is expanding the zone. O swing percentage has gone up 4%. 4% is not crazy. It's not crazy. It's not enough for me to like freak out over it, but it's enough. It's enough. So he's swinging more outside the zone, and he's swinging less inside the zone. Swinging 5% less in the zone and 4% more outside the zone. Not great. Contact percentage is the same. It's not the same. It's 1% less. His contact percentage went down 1%, but that's not anything. I think that was the first stat I went to. I was like, okay, well, is he making less contact? He is technically making less contact, but 1% is not enough for me to make note. And if you're unfamiliar with O swing percentage, it's the same thing as chase percentage in Baseball Savant. Same thing. How much are you chasing out of the zone? Swinging outside the zone. That's what the O stands for, outside. Whiff percentage. Is he whiffing more? No. 31% last year, 31% this year. So literally, it is the only difference is him swinging a little bit more outside the zone and swinging less inside the zone. Swing decisions. I think he's gonna be okay. Take maybe not this year, but I think next year after a full off season, I think he's gonna kind of get back to his 2024 level of production, which is not the MVP we saw in 2025. But it's a much better player than what we're seeing now. I think he's gonna be okay. He's underperforming his ex-Woba right now. Still a good barrel percentage. I think the hard hits are going to come back up from him. The walk percentage is the same. It's 13% this year, which is the same as last year, which was an increase over his career. I think he's going to be okay. I think Cal Raleigh's going to be okay. I think the defense is something that is a little worrisome. His blocking is still fantastic, but besides that, everything else has dropped off. I think, honestly, I think he's going to be all right. It's hard for me to not look at the season as just a true blimp. As you can look at 2025, I think it works both ways. I think looking at the top, the number one year of players' performance, and then looking at the bottom, it's kind of easy for my brain to just cut both out. And maybe that's wrong of me. Maybe that is not being a good analyst. And it's not how I want to leave this show, but that's how I feel. That is how I feel with Cal Raleigh. And I would love to hear what you guys think because I read all the comments as I have this entire time. Would love to hear what you guys think about Cal. Love to hear what you think about the Mariners season. I think they still have a shot for the playoffs. I wanted to come into this episode and be like, oh, I'm going to make predictions for the end of the season and all that, but I just don't. I'm just not going to do that. It's just not what I want to do. I want to just analyze, put all the cards on the table, see what you think, see what I think. I appreciate you watching, and I won't see you back next time. So, love you guys.